make the decision on their own. Why? Because they lack the thought processes that you're trying to teach. Do you guys see how just posting a picture of your food with the macros doesn't matter unless you can tie into like why you used to struggle eating your macros, why you changed from rice to pasta because it gives you more clarity, right? I'm throwing up random ideas, but again, this goes back to the Pink Floyd analogy. You are the prism that creates the beautiful picture. And you can't expect the person to look at your story and coach themselves on what your story means. Spoon feed them, interpret it for them in ways that they never would have thought of themselves, right? This is what I talk about here. Relate. Lead, relate, right? A lot of time coaches will post stories that mean something to them, but externally, it's not really relatable to your audience. Your job is to understand your pain on such a level that it becomes relatable to your audience. You can't just spend all of your time telling people what to do. You're a coach, they're looking for you to lead and demonstrate first, then relate to them why it matters. And you can see that what I've created in this board is that all of the messaging, what happens? It all points back where? To the offer. Relate to the offer. Story pillars to the offer, right? So let's say I'm Kyle. In my mind, I'm like, this calendar is showing consistency of how I'm using my clients. And what does that do? It points back to how I transform men into a 1%er. Because only 1%ers track every aspect of their day, right? And then I go here, relate. I used to care what y'all motherfuckers thought on this app. What's he doing here? He's relating how he used to be scared of posting, he used to care. But now, what's he doing? He's showing him and executing as a 1%er. That's messaging, relating back to his offer. And then in the attack, right, he's talking about how he was able to find a circle of friends and what had to change in his mind that actually attracted him to a high value circle of friends, right? The attack method takes the pillars lead and relate to another level. It takes the overarching theme and it frames you as the authority because why? You showed yourself doing it first, you demonstrated. Then you showed how it's actually relatable to them, and then you attacked their inability to do it. And again, what happens? What do 1% people have? Top 1% men, they've got a solid group of guys around them. Again, his story, his messaging is going back to his offer. Guys, Kyle literally had like
9
or 10,000 followers. I think he's been less than 2 months in the program. No money. Spent all the money left in his bank account. Racked $30,000 just by making these changes, and he understood this to a T, right? Jeff has 90,000 followers, and some of his videos have millions of views, but the problem is his stories weren't all pointing back to his offer. His stories, he was just kind of throwing them up in the air in hopes that his audience would take them and relate them and kind of fit them into their lives where need be. But guess what? That's you just being an influencer. Influencers influence people to use their content how they would like to. Coaches impress their will on the person and say, no. This is how you need to think. You are a leader, right? So now, Jeff's stories all go back to his specific offer. So the messaging, again, one offer, one message, and then we have one funnel set up, right? Which is down here that I'm going to go over in a second. But I want to go over to the right, and I'm going to show you the funnel service. So, give me like a emoji or something in the chat. How many of you guys? Okay, I didn't even say anything yet, but give me an emoji in the chat for all of you guys who have like gone to the club and you've seen a $150 bottle of tequila be $1,500 or $2,000, and to be honest, most people don't even think twice about it. It's just like, oh, it's the prices. Why? Because they use the bottle service technique, right? Literally, right? I used to go to the club, all the time when I was young, and I always wondered, like, why is this bottle of tequila that I can get at the liquor store, even though I'm underage, $1,500 to $2,000 at the club, right? And it's because they use 3 techniques to make people willing to pay for it. And it's the same thing that you should use with your fitness coaching program. Now, I'm not telling you guys that your fitness coaching program is only inherently
check
right?
right there.
But the difference is most people are going to look at your fitness coaching program as just a copy and paste thing on the shelf, right? You want to display it like it's coming out at Live Miami with the bottle girls and the signs and the sparklers, and they feel like they're just
Got 9 Jeffries in there.
spending the extra money.
Use your fingers
because
and
they're
talk,
getting
Jeff.
something
Come on.
specific, right? So the number one thing is VIP access, right? This is what makes people want to spend. A coaching business is not a celebrity-based business. People aren't paying you just so that they can be like, oh, keep winning, here you go, keep winning. They're paying you to develop a relationship with you so that they can learn from what you've gone through and win alongside you, right? Stop making all of your content about you and make it about the collective. There's people that this makes them money.
What do you say? Make it about, don't make it about you, make it about
run
the collective.
the one person win of constantly making themselves
like helping their
feel
clients
like
win?
a god, right? Think logically.
Okay.
If you spend every ounce of your time marketing and
Make a
making
lot
your
of
life
time.
perfect,
Hey,
the
Jeff.
smart clients, the
I gotta
clients
go
that
back.
actually get good results, $2,000 at the club, right? And it's because they use 3 techniques to make people willing to pay for it. And it's the same thing that you should use with your fitness coaching program. Now, I'm not telling you guys that your fitness coaching program is only inherently worth $300, right? But the difference is most people are going to look at your fitness coaching program as just a copy and paste thing on the shelf, right? You want to display it like it's coming out at Live Miami with the bottle girls and the signs and the sparklers, and they feel like they're justified in spending the extra money because they're getting something specific, right? So the number one thing is VIP access, right? This is what makes people want to spend. A coaching business is not a celebrity-based business. People aren't paying you just so that they can be like, oh, keep winning, here you go, keep winning. They're paying you to develop a relationship with you so that they can learn from what you've gone through and win alongside you, right? Stop making all of your content about you and make it about the collective. There's people that this makes them money, but they're constantly having to outrun the one person win of constantly making themselves feel like a god, right? Think logically. If you spend every ounce of your time marketing and making your life perfect, the smart clients, the clients that actually get good results, the clients that actually make you enjoy a coach, are going to think and they're going to be like, wait, if this guy only is just documenting his life, having fun, having all his freedom, he's always in the gym, he's always tracking his macros, but he's never working with his clients, he's never checking in with his clients. The smart ones are going to be like, well, I want to buy from a coach that's going to help me win, not that my money is just going to help them win, right? So again, it's faster because the dumb clients just buy into the hype, but they're the worst to fulfill. They might pay you quickly, but they're very, 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 very quick to regret their purchasing decision. When you create a VIP access that makes it feel like people genuinely get direct access into your life and who you are as a human being, the same way that I do with the one-on-one dashboard and the one-on-one calls with you guys, the focus is on the collective. You're a leader and you attract the top talent, and they actually make your brand rise up faster, right? These two people in these pictures have a huge difference in following, right? But one person has a lot of goodwill and the other person has a lot of bad will. Now, you can continue to outrun the
You guys know how to type to
a
that? It
while
says I have
and make a bunch
27
of
Jeffries
money,
in here.
but
You
you're
guys
gonna start to
being
not enjoy
scared.
your business, right? And it comes down to how much VIP access are you making it feel like they're getting. If you have a small brand and you've really built up your authority and you give people more access, they're gonna have no problem paying you double or triple the amount of some other people because they're like, oh, this guy can actually take the time to help me. I always see him working with my clients. So you have to create that VIP feeling where they're like, oh, when I buy, I'm getting access to, I'm getting status. The same reason why guys will go in the club and spend 20K. Why? Because they're getting status. All the other girls are looking at their section and it's like, oh man, look at those bottles going up there. It makes them feel good. Number two, premium packaging, right? Here's what I say. I'm like, you just ordered a bottle, when it comes to the bottle service method, you just ordered a $100 bottle of tequila, but what did it come out with? It came with sparklers, it came with a sign, there's music, the DJ's yelling at you, right? It came with the bottle girls and all this stuff. It made it seem like it was so much more, and to the people that value that, it is so much more. That's what they went for, right? Same thing should happen with your program, right? Someone who does a great job of this is Kyle. If you guys don't follow him, I am KRYYY. We got on a call the other day and he was running me through his program, and he took all the things that I give you guys to white label it in the master program template, but he took it to the next level. He's like, here's my 5 book recommendations that I give all of them that I make them read. First, we write a love letter to themselves, and then we write down a list of all the things that they hate about themselves. All of these things that make the coaching program seem like it has premium packaging. And when I say seen, the coaching program does have premium packaging, but a lot of you guys, you haven't created anything unique. Why? This reflects back to the fact that you haven't actually gone through a routine with your mindset on a goal. Kyle had all of these things he wanted to accomplish. Getting in shape, growing out a beard, holding himself with confidence, right? So he took all the things that he did. For me, it was simple things like the cold shower, helped me quit smoking weed in the morning. So any of my clients that were struggling with vices, I added it in there for them. The 32 ounces of water with the pink salt helped instantly hydrate me in the morning and make me feel clear, because I wasn't on the animal-based diet. A lot of times I would wake up with inflammation in my face because I didn't have the money to pay for, the super good whole foods. So that was a part of what I would do. And I would add all these things into my offer that made it feel like it was so much more than fitness coaching. It was a life change that they're buying into, right? And when you create premium packaging, guys realize, oh, I'm not just paying to have the workout. I'm paying for something that's literally going to change my life. And again, it creates the need for them to pay more money, and they do so willingly. And I'm telling you guys, you have literally 40 days coming until summer. And if y'all are sitting here and you still haven't gone through and reflected on, what's my story consist of? What can I add into my coaching program? You're gonna get out-competed. You're commoditizing yourself. A big thing that I learned is that the more resources I added to my program, the more I had to make content about, because the more new frames and lenses I saw every single solitary day. So, VIP access, premium packaging, and last, a guaranteed result, right? When you truly understand, and this is what we've done with the 100X Fitness Dashboard for all of you guys who have it, or who have bought it, right? When you create a science-based system, the more KPIs you have for them, the more you can literally offer a guaranteed result. Now, you walk a fine line if you sit here on a sales call and you're like, hey bro, I'm gonna guarantee that you put on 20 pounds of muscle in 6 weeks, or I'll give you your money back. You can't really do that because the odds of someone putting on 20 pounds of muscle, unless they're just brand new in the gym and they're a hyper responder, is difficult. So if you do that, you're probably gonna get a lot of people asking for their money back. But when you break it down to okay, I know every single person who is at least 30% body fat can lose, 7 to 10 pounds in a month, guaranteed. And you package that with their pains and you're like, hey, if you follow all the steps that I have for you every single solitary day, 90% to a T within these next 120 days, and you haven't lost, 7 to 10 pounds every single solitary month, you don't feel more confident waking up every single solitary day, and you haven't created a consistent routine where you show up in the gym, I will gladly give you your money. And you should fully be willing to do that, because if you've created a system, you can understand that scientifically, if they are in a 500 calorie deficit every day, they're going to lose 1 pound a week, right? And if they are going to the gym every single solitary day, they're gonna probably be able to put 10 to 20 pounds on their lifts over the course of your program. And if they're stronger, they're gonna be happier. If they lost weight, they're gonna be happier. As they're seeing progress, they're gonna be more motivated. And the more motivated they get, the more progress, the more consistent they're gonna stay in the gym. Therefore, you create something that is guaranteed, and all it's based on, the only variable is their work ethic. Because if they look at you and 120 days have gone by and they're like, oh man, David, you know, I just really want my money back. And you're like, yeah, completely understand that, bro. Let's take a look at your thing. And you're like, you know, you only tracked your macros 7 days out of the 120. And you know, you only went to the gym consistently 1 week. Every other time you were only there for 2 or 3 days, right? Obviously, they didn't get there. And you can create a contract that shows this, because on the sales call, when you tell people, hey, you committed to me that you're willing to work hard, I'm telling you right now, if you do my system and my system doesn't work and you work hard, you should absolutely give them their money back. But because it's based in science, you can literally create a guaranteed product that will get them results, and it makes people so much more willing to pay money, because they know, okay, well, if I just get my ass in gear and Gary holds me accountable and I continue to execute on these things, it's gonna be a guaranteed result. This is what I need. And it lowers the pain of the investment, right? And again,
Jeffrey's up
for
too.
all of you guys inside. Now I have the white label program. This is more luxury product that we have available on the back end, you know, where you guys can manage your clients. It's kind of like a trainerized replacement. But all the guys who use this, like Bennett and Devin and Brian, and it absolutely rips, because it's basically the same dashboard I manage my one-on-one guys on, but it's built out for fitness. It manages their macros, manages their workouts every single solitary day. It creates their onboarding form, and it basically really
Yeah, we got some
guarantees
fucking
that you
Frank
get
on
results
the
with,
chat.
right? So now, what do we have? We have the 1-1-1
We're doing
method.
Franco, you copy
We have
your
the
data.
dollar service technique. So the 1-1-1 method is the front-facing funnel that's guaranteeing you have hot leads inbound coming through your system, one offer, one messaging,
Getting bigger
and one
inside.
funnel, right?
How's the diet
One
looking?
place
You
to
eating
buy.
that beef?
And then you have the
You
follow
fucking
service
jack.
technique comes on the back end that collides with it, that offers a guaranteed result that you can sell for thousands of dollars that people are willing to pay for when you know how to
Frank,
frame it.
we got those
And
fucking
what
eggs
does that
going
leave
right
us
there.
with? It only leaves us with needing to understand the invisible
double
funnel
T.
so that you can maintain authority as a coach. Can you make money without the invisible funnel? Absolutely. Will it crash and burn very, very quickly? Absolutely. There's a lot of guys
Big
that I know
eggs,
down here in Miami
veggies
that
and
all of a
rice
sudden
are
they went
fucking
from
bad.
like, yeah, I'm a fitness coach, to like, oh, now I'm a crypto
That's
trader, to like, oh, now I'm teaching you credit. Why? Because they're constantly sitting
Now,
there ripping
if you're eating like that, now you just
action,
gotta stay
ripping
consistent
to
in the
their
gym.
audience, not giving
Every day.
them the bottom service technique when
Knock 'em out.
delivering a program. And it's only
Too
so
bad they
long
right
before people
fucking
catch
there.
on
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
like, hey, wait a minute.
Sleeping enough too,
What's
you gotta
going
get that
on
rest.
here? You haven't really been
It's 7 to
speaking
9
the
hours.
same thing. You haven't been
Cover the
prioritizing
muscles.
us, right? So the long run is always the best. Slow and steady wins the race, I promise, because smooth is fast. Just because you're moving fast with momentum doesn't mean that it's going to last, I promise you, right? So the invisible funnel is what allows you to actually run the 72-hour blitz, because it's sat on the shoulders of long-form
Okay, I'll try
education.
it.
Because the long-form education is the thing that nurtures and it builds trust. Not a single one of you guys would be on this call if it was not for my YouTube. That is an absolute fact. None of you guys would. Because you look at my Instagram and it's like, it's good, but then you don't know what actually makes me me. You don't know what makes my story me. You don't know what makes the way that I speak, the passion I speak about, and the obsession that I have with this business and with getting you guys results without going to my YouTube. And it's the same thing for you. And if you're posting one YouTube video a week, or you have one YouTube video uploaded, or better yet, you have none, how do you expect to compete? Because here's the thing. You're going to have to post call to actions all the time. You're going to have to run some ads. You're going to probably have to have a website. But when you run the invisible funnel, your Instagram is your website. Your Instagram educates everyone on the programs you have. It shows you showing up in real time every single solitary day, right? This is what takes you from just some robot, like another robot selling a course online, to like a real human being who has struggles, who's learned, and who's accomplished the viewer's goal.
Yeah, 170 is
This
good.
one
We gotta get
creates
you
a
to
real
200
personal
jack.
brand, rather than
That
just an
fucking tiny
Instagram
chat,
picture, a little
fuck
bit of
me.
money. If you have a
Course, we're
bunch of
doubling the
followers,
T-Titan
if you're
time.
constantly showing up every single solitary
Avocado
day,
fire.
oh, DM me negative 10 pounds, DM me shred, DM me this. Eventually, you might get some buyers here and there, but people start to show up and they're like, is this guy's entire motive just to like only show up so he can get
Franco, how's the
money?
aging
Or does
beast
he
going?
actually care about me, right? And when you use the layered call to actions that I teach inside of the program, and instead of having a website, if they need something more, you send them to YouTube to be nurtured through long form, where it creates this funnel right here. Most of the time, people will find you through Instagram, right? Sometimes they'll find you through YouTube, right? Me, everyone found me through YouTube because I started gaining traction on YouTube before Instagram. But most of the time, Instagram is the most easily acquired traffic. They'll find you through Instagram Reels, and then they'll immediately go to your
that grass
YouTube.
fed
They'll
butter.
watch your YouTube. They'll be deeply informed on who you are. The first impression is maximized, and then
Yes, sir.
with that new
Right
impression,
there.
with that new lens of who you actually are, they'll view your stories every single solitary day, and your stories will get them to convert by DMing you and jumping on a call, or you posting one of your YouTube videos in your stories, and now with this newfound information that they have from watching your YouTube videos and going to the stories, they go back to a YouTube video and it reminds them again that they need to buy your program because of the unconventional method that you have, and that's when it brings in the Calendly, right? Now, Max just asked a good question, and I'm not gonna sit here and start answering questions, but he asked it in the
Got Jose in
I
the
wanted to
chat,
bring it up
Jose.
because
Hey,
he just
Jeffrey.
kinda, like, read my mind and said this, but he said, how do you narrow down your messaging when you feel like it's been too scattered, but you have a lot of value to provide in your program? This is the thing. Your program shouldn't be scattered either, Max. So it's like when I watch your content, a lot of what you're talking about doesn't seem like it's represented in the right way. And you kind of have to pick something, right? So if you're constantly posting, like I saw one of your videos today, and it's like,
So we're gonna see you guys later. Have a great night. Let me show the food real quick. Right here, high protein on the chat. Come on. 5 eggs, 1 steak, white rice, avocados. Eating real nice. We got a dragon fruit right there. Come on now. Eating real nice. Chat. Say double T before you go to bed. Catch you guys later. Peace out. Yeah. Come on.